Hello everyone, my name is Adam and welcome back to pliplop. Alright everyone, you saw the title. We are back with more Choosing Beggars content for you all, so let's just get started. A terrible babysitting job offer of mine. I'm a teen. This was around the same time last year. So the mother lives on the other side of town and my city is fairly large and takes about 45 minutes to get from the one side where I live to her house. She saw me with a kid from another family I babysit for, and she asked me if I'd be interested in watching her son while she grocery shops weekly. She seemed really nice at first, so I agreed to give her my contact info if she's still in need of babysitting at that time. She then proceeded to text me later that day with the worst punctuation and grammar possible. That was the first red flag. Fast forward to 7 o'clock at night when I was doing my homework, she said that she needed someone to take her kid immediately because she had just met, and I quote, a young, smoking hot Tinder date, and proceeded to tell me that the kids will hurt her chance of getting laid, with a, ha ha ha, lol, you understand, right? I'm sorry, lady, what? I'm 14, I literally just met you, and you're telling me you need to take your kid immediately at 7 o'clock at night on extremely short notice because you're horny for some guy that's 20 years younger than you. That's another red flag. So, being the nice person I am, I agreed to watch the kids in an arcade near their house while the mom is off with this guy. My mom had to drive me almost a 90-minute return trip because this woman didn't offer to. I get to the arcade and the kid was sitting outside. Mom was nowhere to be seen, red flag, so I take the kid inside, introduce myself, and started playing games. His mom had given him about $50, and that ran out after about an hour. Mom wasn't back by then, so I let him use my spare $30 I keep on me after asking his mom if that was okay. We were having fun. He actually is a really nice kid despite his mother, but at about 10 I started getting nervous. The place closes at 10:30, so I texted the mother and she said to take him home because she ended up going to the guy's house. Red flag. She gave me the address, so I took him home and he got into bed. The mom came stumbling in at 3 in the morning, so I told her that he's in bed. I charge about $10 an hour, especially because it was really late notice. This brings her total to about $90 plus the extra $30 that she agreed to. Here's the choosing beggar part. She then told me that this was a trial run to see if I was a good babysitter, and told me that she won't be paying any more than $4 an hour in the future, and that she won't be paying $90 this time because she doesn't have the right denominations. She said it should be an honor to work for her since she paid for the arcade, and that I should be grateful. I kindly reminded her that I had $30 of my own because she didn't pick up her kid on time. She gave me a $20, dismissed me, and I had to call my mom at 3:30 a.m. to come pick me up. She was not happy. I haven't heard from her since. Whew, okay. Oh, and then there's the edit portion that the author added to after the fact. So edit, for everyone saying call CPS, I just looked her up on Facebook. She and the boy moved away, and she has had addiction problems with both heroin and alcohol for the past year. Thankfully, due to someone's reports of abuse against the mother, the child has been placed in another family home as a foster, and they're hoping to adopt him. I hope all the best for the boy and this new family. Glad nothing else came of that one night. Yeah, there's a lot going on in that one. Outside of the choosing, arguably the choosing beggar stuff is not even the worst part, obviously. So, seems like it somewhat worked out though. Okay, let's see what this one is. Friend that owes me a lot of money asks for favor, which turns into more and more favors. May not be the traditional choosing beggar that everyone is used to, but I think she's close enough to warrant a post. First, of course, a backstory. I have a friend that used to live in my house but now lives across the country. When she lived in my house, I cut her a really good deal because she's nice and I was trying to help get herself back up on her feet after some financial struggles. I normally could have rented her room out for about $700 a month, but instead she paid me $400 a month with the understanding, written into lease, signed and understood by all, that at the end of the year she'd move out and have another 24 months to pay me back $2,000. For those doing the math, wow, thank you so much. That's $300 times 12, $3,600 saved, of which she had a full 2 years to pay me back the $2,000. The reason behind the math and the delay is she was trying to get her dream job and living with me, which was right next to her current job, allowed her to work less hours and not pay for a car while she studied and trained. At the end of the year, she'd apply for this job, get it easily after spending a year training and studying, make good money, and after paying off her biggest impending debts, pay me back as well. I was doing okay financially, not struggling, but absolutely not thriving, so I wanted to help someone achieve their dream job since it seems so easy. Well, a year passed and she was still there. No dream job. I didn't mind too much as she was a great roommate/tenant, but I had encountered some hard financial times and struggled to pay bills, and I really could have used that extra $300 a month. Suddenly, she texted me that she had to leave and couldn't pay the current month of rent, but had left her car as payment. She had moved to a different state and left a broken down 1999 Plymouth Neon in lieu of the $400 payment. I spent 2 months with it in my driveway trying to sell it and eventually sold it for $200. I asked her about paying me back, the lease agreement, not the last month rent, since she clearly wouldn't be getting this dream job in another state, and she assured me she would once she got back up on her feet again. She never did. It's been maybe about 8 years. Great. Fast forward to recently in the choosing beggar portion, I talked to this girl maybe once every 6 months. I know she's moved multiple times. She messaged me out of the blue saying she'll be back in town for a couple months, and since she knows I live by the airport, can I pick her up? Sure, of course, absolutely. I think nothing of it until the day before her trip, and I measured her to find out she's flying in an airport 2 hours away. Okay, my car gets good gas mileage, so it's only a 4-hour commitment in the middle of the day and about $15 in gas. I update my wife to tell her, and she gets pissed and wants me to cancel on her, but I can't, even though I know Choosing Beggar purposely picked that airport to save maybe $50 and withheld the info from me until last minute. So I pick her up at the airport. As soon as she gets in, something feels off. I'd mentally prepared for this, so I just went ahead and asked the questions, where am I dropping you off at? Since I didn't want to ride 2 hours with uncertainty. She said I'd said it would be fine if she crashed at my place for the weekend. We had literally 4 to 5 lines of communication over the last 6 months, and half was about my new puppy was aggressive towards people at the house. I said flat no, that wouldn't work, and she got on her phone and was furiously typing for the next half hour. I later found out that she reached out to all of our mutual friends saying her plans fell through and she needed to couch surf for a weekend. She found a place with a friend of a friend of a friend, but it was an extra half hour out of the way. Also, she had tried to ask if she could meet the aforementioned puppy, but I also shot that down for a multitude of reasons. The least one being that I didn't want to give her the opportunity to not find another place to stay. I dropped her off and I thought that would be it. I was really frustrated and feeling taken advantage of. Oh, and I should also share that she wasn't vaccinated and seemed generally unaware, apathetic about the whole COVID thing in general. So that was fun to find out as she climbed into my tiny car and we spent almost 3 hours sharing oxygen after she flew across the country. Surprise, she messaged me the night before she was leaving asking me to take her to the airport. I left her on red. Okay, and once again, we have an edit portion because I think the comments didn't like the fact that he was hanging out with this woman while he was married or something like that. Let's just see what this guy has to say. Edit, I don't think it's going to help, and since I have so many people that got really mad when I refused their unwarranted and unneeded life advice and then turned to flaming and trolling, I'll clarify things. Choosing Beggar and I have been friends for about a decade. There has never been any attraction at all. And Choosing Beggar is gay and couldn't be further from my type even if she wasn't. Those insisting ulterior motives based on falsely imagined attraction or more are mentally ill. Also, the first part of the story took place about 6 years ago. I never got the $2K she owed me, and since I've written it off as a lesson learned. It seems hard for people to understand, but it's possible to let something like this go and still be friends. I just wouldn't allow her to live with me again for a loan and money. It's very important to trolls to comprehend. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So basically, it seems like he's a choosing beggar enabler. That's the vibe I'm getting, right? Because he's kind of, maybe if you're friends with someone for a decade, but he seems like to be bending over backwards for this person. Driving 2 hours to and fro the airport to drop this person off when they still owe you money? Like, huh? I don't know. I think that's enough for today. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like or letting us know in the comments section down below. And if you enjoy these types of videos in general, please consider subscribing. It really, really helps out. Thanks again for sticking around, and we'll see you in the next one.